Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I wanted to talk about ascendant opposite ascendant in Synastry, or ascendant conjunct descendant is also the same thing as this, or even ascendant in the seventh house. Can be applied to this interpretation. So I'm so surprised I haven't talked about this already, or maybe I have and I just forgot, but I got this request yesterday and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I haven't talked about that. And it's just really one of the best indicators of true genuine compatibility when you have this aspect. Like, when you have this aspect, you are finishing each other's sentences. You are really like the other half to this person, and there's still a lot of learning from each other because of the nature of the opposition, is like the balancing of the polarities. Like, this person has exactly what you need on some level to become whole and become a better person, and it's a really valuable connection for all types of relationships, but of course romantically is where we can really see like the best of this aspect, because the seventh house represents the partner. Now, it represents relationships of all kinds, but it does show us someone who we are essentially compatible with because of that polarity, right? And because of the nature of the opposition and like the balancing act that it is, but especially so for the ascendant. So I'm going to go ahead and make a crazy big claim here and say that like ascendant opposite ascendant is the best opposition that you can have between like planet, or I guess this isn't a planet, but like planet or point to point, like same point. Like, so out of like sun opposite sun, moon opposite moon, Mercury opposite Mercury, Mars opposite Mars, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of these oppositions, this is the best opposition for genuine compatibility. It is so beautiful. It is so lovely. There's pretty much nothing negative that I could say about it, because there's a real like instinctive cooperation with ascendants opposite, like more so than planets. And probably because it's not a planet, it's a point, right? And because the ascendant descendant is an axis, right? Like, so it's not a planet, it's actually a very compatible thing. And you know, you guys often ask me for like aspects to the ascendant in Synastry, like squares or like oppositions and stuff like that, and it's not so strong in one case, or in some case, like to have aspects to the ascendant, because it's not standalone, right? You've got the ascendant descendant, and then you've got the IC and the MC, right? The midheaven and the IC, right? So it's like not the same as aspects to planets, right? Because there's actually a lot more harmony, there's a lot more compatibility. If you have a planet square the ascendant, it is often going to be, especially if you use like equal house or something, conjunct to the IC or the MC. So there's actually a lot more compatibility with these squares or with this opposition, right? Like I'm saying, this is the best opposition to have. There's almost nothing negative we could say here about this opposition. It is beautiful. And you know, most people are really gonna like this. Now, if you've got Pluto on your ascendant, then this is a whole different story, right? Then you're gonna have Pluto opposite ascendant, right, in the Synastry. So like, there's things that can modify this to make it more intense and less harmonious, but generally this opposition is just really great. And you know, there is a lot of similarity in the two people. Like, as much as you are different, you are also very similar. It's not hard to come to agreement about, you know, how you should act. And it's really interesting. Like, you may not act like each other, but you deeply respect how the other person acts, and it actually helps you to be in the presence of someone who acts like the ascendant that is opposite yours. Like, it's really like, it's a learning experience that is usually more welcomed, like I said, than other oppositions, because the Ascendant is like the persona, right? And it's deeper than that too. It's like how you're meant to act. It's like how you're meant to go about your, the rest of your chart, right? It's like your doorway to all of the other beautiful things in your chart. And so it's like when you have someone's Ascendant opposite yours, you're really getting a boost. You're really getting like, it's like air. It's like being in the presence of someone who is like giving you oxygen, giving you perspective on yourself. Like, they're going to really see you too. They're going to see you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, when you have this opposition, and they're not going to be offended by that. They might offer suggestions, right? They might be able to see you so well that they can actually help you in, how you could act. But there's generally more harmony with this opposition. Now, romantically, this can be one of the most attractive aspects that could, get the bells ringing, the angels are singing, and, this is it, this is the one. We can really feel like that when we find someone whose Ascendant is opposite ours, because they really do have what we lack. Like, we're really capable of like a true partnership when we have this aspect. Like, they're able to see your blind spots. They're able to bring out the best in you. They're able to, it's so interesting, they're able to tone you down at the same time as activate you. So it's like a toning down of maybe the less beautiful qualities of your Ascendant, because sometimes we can overemphasize our Ascendant, right? And that can be like a trauma response too. That can be like a primal thing where we just like over-identify with the Ascendant, like where we can't get past that. Like, it's hard to explain, but like we can get stuck in there and get stuck in maybe some of the negative characteristics of our Ascendant more than other planets, because it's just such a first response, right? The Ascendant is like that first breath that you've taken as an infant, right? So it's very instinctual, right? And we can get stuck in these negatives of our Ascendant, and then being around someone whose Ascendant is in opposition is like a breath of fresh air. We're able to like let go of some of the more difficult qualities of our Ascendant and be a more evolved version of our Ascendant. Now, that's like best case scenario. I guess the negative part of this could be that actually the opposite happens, that you both, because of the energizing influence of the opposition aspect is especially energetic. It's a very high excitement aspect that you could actually trigger each other to being more of your Ascendants, maybe for better or for worse, maybe both. So you can activate each other in such a way that does actually bring out some of like the more negative qualities of each of your Ascendants. So there is that possibility too with the opposition, that like extreme behavior can come out in oppositions in Synastry, like the extremes of those two signs. So you could definitely see that too. It depends on, like, it's all how you use it, right? You could really get, I think you're more likely to get beautiful harmony out of this, but with certain people, certain Ascendants, maybe one's in fire, right? You could just get, even more bigger into that energy and maybe some of the negative qualities of it. But yeah, I think that still though, with that being said, this is an awesome aspect. This is probably like top 10, best Synastry aspects. And like, it's sort of, maybe it's like less exciting than like certain Pluto or whatever Uranus stuff going on, but it's durable and it's real genuine compatibility. It's one of those indicators that is like, you are like, the shoe fits, right? Like, you're a really good match for each other. Now, other things would have to also show compatibility. Like, this isn't just like, this couldn't override like two charts that have like nothing in common otherwise, but like, if you got other things that are good and you got this, like, it's beautiful. It's very common in long-term couples, long-term marriages. even out of sign, it can be quite good. I'm in that right now. Yeah, what else do I want to say about this? There was something else I wanted to say about this one. I've lost it. But yeah, I'm really glad someone requested this. Yeah, this one's really, really nice. Yeah, like I said, top 10. Really great indicator of genuine compatibility, liking each other, respecting each other, attraction through the roof because of that impulse to find our other half and like find what truly serves us, what truly will help us be a better version of ourselves. We can have that when we have this opposition in Synastry. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this one. If you've had it, what has it been like for you? Let me know in the comments, you guys. And thank you for your requests. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.